All right, I'm going to try and read our intro and see how we go.
You're rusty as.
Welcome to the I Am That Content Creator podcast. We're cutting through the noise to show you exactly how to create scroll-stopping content, land premium brand deals, and build a thriving online business. No BS, just proven strategies that you can scale. I'm Kristen Werner, your co-host, sitting here with Mia, and we feel rusty.
Rusty as. A combination of, I don't know what, perimenopause.
Yeah, it's not rusty like we're hungover and that we just thought we'd rock up to do a podcast. It's rusty.
I wish I was hungover.
Well, I kind of was yesterday, although I will save it for my loves don't loves because I'm
Okay.
not you love.
Oh, I know what it is too.
Yeah, I know you do. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are going to talk to you about Instagram's new trial reels. And what does that mean for you? What does it look like? What can you try? All the things. So, Mia, I mean, if you've been around the bush with us a few times, guys, hi. If you're new to the podcast, you may not know this, but Mia and I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. It's kind of like that boyfriend that you just you want him to love you so badly, but he's kind of like, arm's length, not sure.
You just keep chasing him and he's just being an asshole and you're like, oh, God damn it. Just love me.
One day he will love me. Like one day we are going to fall in love and have like a million babies.
And then we won't want him because we're like, nah, chase is over. Fuck yeah.
Yes, as soon as you've got him, you're like, nah, thanks so much. That's our relationship with Instagram. And I think it is because we've seen success on TikTok. We love TikTok. Not obviously, but if you've just kind of joined in, Mia and I are fabulously rogue, also very structured, but also very rogue. Like if we have something that we want to share, it just comes out in our content. And that's where TikTok has been such a beautiful place to grow, because I feel like you can just hit record, get what you need to get out, where both our human design, we're responders. So we are built to respond. So Instagram feels difficult sometimes because it's not easy. Like it feels very curated,
Yes.
which isn't always our jam. So when trial reels came out, I think both of us were keen to try it. One, because anything that a new platform gives out, you want to try and use it because the algorithm does love that. But also because I found that for me, I don't know about you, Mia, I think you're the same, is it kind of felt like you could be a bit rogue and you could actually be yourself and test and trial things without everybody seeing them. So we're going to dip into a little bit what trial rules are, how you can use them. Are we experts on it? Absolutely not. But are we testing it? Yes, we are.
Yes, like anything, you just got to give it a go. And if it doesn't work the first few times, just keep going. Yeah. It's just like anything, just keep giving it a go. And I don't think everyone has trial reels yet. No. I know I don't on my personal account, but we do on our Hive Hub Collective account. So if you don't have it yet, don't worry, I'm sure they'll roll it out to everyone over time. And I've actually heard people say that they've got it and then it disappeared as well. So
that's the common occurrence with the old Instagram.
Yeah, they just love fucking with us. But anyway, we have been giving it a go. So basically, in a nutshell, from what I can gather, trial reels is a function where you can test your content multiple different ways until you find something that works, and then you can put it on your feed. So it's all the trial reels that you post don't show up on your feed, which is why we love the rogueness of it, because you don't have, your followers kind of judging all your tested content. And the reels get shown to people that aren't following you.
Yeah, so it goes to a whole new audience. So when you put out a trial reel, it does not go to your followers. It is pushed out to a wider audience that have no idea you are, do not follow you, do not see your content. So the one thing that you do need to think about when you do a trial reel is really top of funnel. So really top of funnel kind of information. Still keeping in mind that you will need to at some point introduce yourself, because if somebody's seeing you cold and you're going out and giving them educational content and giving a CTA that is join my community, buy my thing, and it's a completely cold audience, that isn't going to land as well. So when it comes to creating a trial reel, what we like about it is you can test content that maybe you don't want to test on your feed because for whatever reason, or maybe you've tested it a few times and it's not working on your feed, you're in the 200 views jail. There's an opportunity for you to go, okay, a bit rogue and just try. And the one thing that we do know and that we have seen is that it is quantity. So where on our main Instagram reels, there is kind of maybe a formula in the madness, and at the same time, you can't really, there are no rules. Like, first and foremost, let's just get it really fucking clear. There is no rules to creating content on your platform, as in must be 3 times a day, must be at 6:45 a.m. at 12:30 p.m. and you must have this many hashtags and you must say this. Like, fucking no. So there are rules to creating content that converts. Yes. By rules, I mean there are formulas and methods to creating good content. Yes. But I do not believe that there is strict rules that you need to abide by on these platforms, because the algorithm will do its job. Like for trial reels, for example, if you imagine it that you put out your trial reel and Instagram goes, okay, I'm going to take this content and I'm going to give it to a room full of, let's just say 10 people. And in that room full of 10 people, if those 10 people stop and they enjoy it, they consume the whole thing for longer than 3 seconds, they comment, they like, they share, they engage, then the algorithm knows, okay, I'm going to now take it to a room of 50 people, and they put it in that room. And if 45 people do the same thing, engage, share, like, give it value, then they go, cool, I'm going to now share it to a room of 500 people, whatever. And that's how it grows. That's how the algorithm basically works, if you want to put it that way. So if you put that reel out there and it's shown to a room of 10 people and one person goes, scroll on, and the rest of the 9 give 0 fucks about it, it's not going to be taken to the next room of 25 people.
And then you look on that because you're like, okay, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
How can I change it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so a couple of things that you can test with trial reels that we have done, we've learned about, we've done some research and we've tested ourselves, is go for bulk. Go for gold.
Yep. Just get it all out there and duplicate all your drafts over and over and over again. Change the hook, change the music, change little things so you can test all these, different intricacies to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, so you could go to your Reels or TikToks right now and look which one has the highest engagement, and go and grab that one and either recreate it or get it and then put it into a trial reel and change the hook, change the trending sound. And I know a lot of creators from the research we've done have got their B-roll and they've put it into their, usually you go into drafts. So how it's created is you go into your drafts folder. If you've got it, you go into your drafts or you create a reel, you create that reel, and then you put your trending sound, you put your incredibly amazing hook, you put your text, all that kind of stuff in there. And then as you scroll down, you can choose trial reel, and then it's going to post to your trial reel section. So we would suggest that you create your reel and then you kind of save it and then you duplicate that in that drafts folder. So you might duplicate it 3 or 4 times, because what is happening, and from what we're learning, the more we dive into it, the more we test it, is we might put out a trial reel and it's got a really good hook and it's got trending audio and it's got all the things that we think it needs, and say it flops. We go, oh, okay, let's use the duplicate that we've got in the folder and let's change one thing. Let's change that hook. And then we've changed that hook and then we repost it to trial reels, and all of a sudden it does better. It might not blow the thing up, but it does better. Okay, that hook was better. Then you go to the other duplicated one that you did, and then you change the hook to whatever it was that worked maybe, and then you change the trending audio or whatever that is to see what is working with your audience, what is landing with them.
Yeah, and one thing to remember with trial reels that I've noticed is it doesn't know this algorithm doesn't know who you are, has no idea. So I've got one meme reel that did really fucking shit on trial reels and got 10,000 views on the feed. Our feed knows our audience. It knows who engages. It pushes it out to, those type of people. But in the trial reels, it has no idea. So it's really important with your trial reels to implement, I call them relevance triggers. So who are you talking to? You need to call them out in the hook. Otherwise, this algorithm's not going to know who to send it to. It'll send it to, Joe Blog down the street who is a mechanic. So if your trial reel doesn't tell people exactly who you are and, calling them out, it's going to be tricky to find the right audience.
Yeah. And that's where I think that's where it's fun to play with, because you do get to reach a whole new audience. And yes, there are creators that are blowing up with trial reels like any other reels. That's cool. We're using it more as a tool to see what hooks do work, what gets cold audiences across the line, what, and you can then look at your analytics and go, okay, from that reel, we gained 5 followers. Now, 5 followers that some people might be
like followers too.
True.
You don't want to just go viral for random people and then you're like, oh, well, fuck. Now my feed's full of people that are never going to buy from me.
And I think that's the thing is, everybody, not everyone, but there's so much talk about how to go viral and do this and do that. Being viral is great, but if you are not attracting the right person, there is absolutely no fucking point. Where if you get 5 followers and 4 out of those 5 are the ideal customer and 3 out of those 5 buy from you because now they're a bit warmer, now they've gone and consume more content, now they've dropped into your free funnel, all of a sudden they are in your world because you did something that attracted them. So if you are looking to go viral because you're in the mood for some dopamine hit that's got you, 10,000 followers, but 9,000 of them aren't your ideal customer, vanity metrics are not going to get you anywhere if you want to get paid in this game. If you just want the vanity metrics to be like, hey, I've got this many followers, that's cool, you do you. But we're in the game. What's that?
I was going to say, if you want to be an influencer and have the big following, then yeah, you're going to want to go viral.
But even with that though, the influencer having the big following, even if you've got 100,000 followers, but 60,000 of them never really commented again because you made one video that was fun, they thought, oh, this creator might be a cool creator, I'm going to keep following them, and then you never put that content out again or whatever. Yeah. So I think, it's such a dangerous game to play when it comes to viral content, where I think that's what, sometimes we get ourselves a bit Debbie down and we keep chasing this viral, not this viral, but this whole reels kind of engagement, where at the end of the day, we've been able to create a 6-figure business off creating content that doesn't go viral, but it engages with the exact person that we want it to. And we think so deeply about who that person is and what she needs at that time and how we can be a part of that process, that it's really important for you to do that.
Yeah. And we bang on about this all the time in the membership, is knowing who you're talking to. You have to know who you're talking to. Otherwise, it's going to be pointless. But if you can figure out who you're talking to and go viral and convert at the same time, fucking booyah, you're on a winner. And people do, you get better at it. But if it's disjointed, it's, not going to work.
So the things that we know about trial reels, because we're not going to make this a long episode, because like we said, we are absolutely not experts at trial reels, but we have dabbled in them. And what Mia and I do incredibly well is we do listen to podcasts, to educations, we deep dive. That's part of our human design, to learn this stuff, to give you that education. So what we know about trial reels is they work. They're actually more fun. Like, if I'm being brutally honest, I enjoy them so much more because you just get to go and use that creativity and just have some fun and be like, who cares? Let's see what happens. Let's test. Let's test. Let's trial. And so because it is a new feature, like we said, few call to actions, I suppose, because it is a new feature on Instagram, it will push your stuff out further. One thing that we didn't say before, I forget, is so with trial reels, they take time. So if you post one, sometimes I've posted and it's got like 1 or 4 views after like 12 hours. I'm like, this is embarrassing. Oh dear. And then all of a sudden it'll either go up or it will stay the same. Either way, it doesn't matter. All that says is, okay, that content did not land. Where there's been some that you go, oh, I'm not sure about this, but I'm going to test it. I'm going to trial it. Trial reels, so clever. And you do that. And then all of a sudden, like I've closed it. I've gone back to my phone a bit later and like all of a sudden it's got 200-300. I'm like, oh, okay, that one worked. And so then you leave it there for you can leave it there forever, or you can leave it there for, they say 24 to 72 hours. Leave it there and don't touch it. Just forget you've done it and move on. And then at some point, at any point, you can put it on your own feed, or you don't have to. That's kind of the best part about it, I think.
And sometimes I've noticed that I'll do the trial reel, I'll leave it there for a few days, it does okay, and then I'll put it to our feed because it is really relevant to our audience, and it kind of picks up again, it does a bit better. So, there's always opportunities to get more views after it's trialed first.
Yeah. So the other part is like we said when we said you can duplicate them, the other part that is a benefit of trial reels is punch out as many as you can, as quick as you can, whenever you can. And this is the thing that you know, I think is hard because people are like, oh my God, more content, I have to create more content. But if you use trial reels as this real testing ground where you can have some more fun of it, and you can just kind of, you don't have to have a cover shot, you don't have to make it aesthetically perfect because it doesn't have to go to your feed. So you have the ability to duplicate one B-roll style, for example, find 10 different hooks. We have a viral hook, Lady Val. If you comment Val in some of our DMs, y'all are going to get her. That can help you generate viral hooks, for example, to test different hooks for one piece of content. You could, sometimes I've woken up in the morning and Mia's had herself a night session and she's punched out like 10 trial reels at like 2:30. I'm like, mate, and then I get up at 5:30 and I punch out 10 at like 5:30 in the morning, and then we're done for the day. 20 reels, boom.
And that's the thing, you can punch them out. It's not like you're starting from scratch every single time. And, you know, we've got a Trello board where we just copy and paste captions that, you know, work well, or, you know, the message that we want to get across. So just get smart with it and just, have a list of hooks, a list of captions, duplicate, change things here and there.
So and really, I think the biggest takeaway is use trial reels to trial your ideas. Like if you're not on TikTok and TikTok is not your jam, that's cool. Like we use TikTok as trial reels. We go rogue. Sometimes we're really strategic, but it's allowed us, certainly as a creator who both Mia and I are, you know, our human designs, we're built to do things all over the shop in the most magical kind of ways. But that's where TikTok has allowed us to do that, where Instagram, it does have a real strategy behind it. And you really do but there is a strategy, madness. What is it? Not madness behind your, what am I trying to say?
Method madness?
Method behind your madness, not madness behind your madness, you weirdo.
You're mad.
I am mad. So trial reels allows you to test different strategies, I suppose, and then make sure you're looking at your analytics. And what you will find is it does go out to non-followers and just see who is following you from your trial reels and are they your ideal customer? And if they are, send them a DM, send them a cheeky DM. Thanks for following me. Really appreciate it. You know, get personal because social media is still social.
Oh, yes. And go have a look at your Instagram. I noticed, like, I don't know when it happened, but before you would post something on your feed and you'd go to the analytics and 80% of viewers were your followers. But now if you go in, 80% are non-followers. So I think Instagram's kind of leaning towards the whole TikTok algorithm where it's pushing your content out to non-followers, which is amazing, perfect, because you're getting found by more people instead of your content just going to your followers and then like, oh, yeah, that's cool. So have a look and see if you've noticed the change on your videos as well.
Yeah. So we'll wrap it up and just kind of give you a bit of an overview if you're going to trial reels. The most important thing that we would recommend is it's a new, like we said, new tool. So Instagram is going to want to push it. Duplicate save your draft and then duplicate that so that then you can go back and test and try different hooks, different trending songs, whatever it might be. You can do that then because you've duplicated that original one. The other thing is adding a call to action is going to be different with your trial reels because it's going to be more like follow along, share this, save this, hit like. You know, you just want people to basically, you know, touch their phones, interact with it, because that's going to tell that algorithm. Remember that 10 people that we went into a room with? If somebody is liking, following, commenting, sharing, that is valuable to you because that's going to take you to the next room of 25, 50 people and so on and so on. You want to start thinking about top of funnel content. So you don't want to go too deep with your trial reels. You can add bits and pieces of who you are. You might do an introduction post or something like that, but you don't want to go into your middle funnel or bottom of funnel content because you're going to really miss people straight away. Because remember, these people have no idea who you are. And so you just try to think to yourself the important things, the recipe that you need for any good piece of content, but for your trial reels, have fun with hooks. So get people in those first 3 seconds, the trending audio, the text on screen, and the captions. Like have a think about them. But when you do change them and repost them or post more of the same reel, you want to just change one thing at a time. Don't change all 4 because then you're not going to know what worked, what didn't. So have fun with what this actually looks like. And what you're able to do then is kind of train the algorithm. What trial reels is basically doing is training that algorithm to show your content to people that you want to attract. So the more content you create around your top of funnel, around your ideal customer, you're training that algorithm to get that content and give it to those people. And that's really kind of the cool part about it. And then the other thing is, the bigger the volume, the better. Like, just go for it. And I know we don't have time, and I know we're all busy, and I know all that. That's why, you might think, okay, I'm going to do 3 really top end posts, reels or something like that, or carousels on my Instagram, but I'm going to go for it and just do trial reels and just try and punch out as many as I can. Whenever I've got the moment, I'm sitting watching Netflix, I'm going to do it then. And then
content, it's so quick. Like, it's very, very quick.
Yeah. And then any that do well, then you post them to your feed. So it's kind of that double win-win, win-win.
Yeah. And a big lesson that we have both learned, and this is a lesson that you can take from TikTok, because TikTok, every video that you post is going out to a new audience, the For You page, every single time. And when you call out the person that you want to talk to in that first 3 seconds, you have a much bigger chance of holding them in, because they don't know who you are yet. So try that on your trial reels, calling them out.
Yeah.
You're going to have a better chance of getting the right person.
Yeah. And that could be a simple call out that is, I'm speaking to fitness coaches and course creators. I'm speaking to mums that have 8-week-old babies, not that you're calling them out, but like new mums, or women over 40 we've done a few times, or Mia's got her ADHD one that she speaks to, like calling them out and identifying them, because in that instance they're scrolling, but you've called them, so they've stopped. I think that's me. Oh, that's me.
It works every time. It works every time.
Yeah.
Like, without fail. Yeah.
So that's basically our little like trial reels tutorial, if you will. And as we keep using it, we will keep letting you know how it goes, but we're just having fun with it, basically. And so if you've got it, we would say just start using it, test it, trial it, have fun with it. And we'll let you know if this boyfriend sticks around.
Yeah, such an asshole.
Do you have some loves, don't loves, Mia, to kind of like, even though I don't think we wrote them down, but like whatever?
Yeah, I do. This is probably a weird love that not many people love, but it's cold now in Melbourne. Today's cold. I've got a jumper on. I've got my slippers on. I love it. It's been so hot, and it feels like this summer has just gone on forever, but it's cold now and I'm loving it. Loving it. Yeah. Heater on this morning. So good. I don't love insomnia. I'm bad for it. I was up there 2 a.m. last night, most nights. I'm just not tired. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to lie there with my,
do you fall asleep and then wake up, or do you just not fall asleep?
No, once I'm asleep, I'm good.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm pinging at midnight, and I'm just like, well.
I'm not.
I'm so tired in the morning. Like, it's like school pickup, school drop off and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I just need to sleep. But anyway.
That's not okay. I've heard that's a very perimenopausal thing, which I'm not looking forward to, because like.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it though. Like, it's the only time of day where I get where the world is asleep. No one's annoying me. The kids are asleep. But then, very tired the next day. Anywho.
Oh, that's not good. Oh.
Well, I got these coffees 6 a day.
So many. I was trying to think of my don't loves then. And there's probably a lot, but the heat, I would say the heat, but not that I can really like tell the heat off, but the heat's been killing me, because Mia and I are the same in terms of like, we just don't function in heat. Like, my body just goes, no, like we're not going to achieve anything. It's not.
Just get angry.
Yeah. And then the house, even though like I do have aircon now, so that's a massive love. But even that, I'm just like, everything's hot. Like, don't touch me. I just want to sit on the couch. So yes, that the heat has upset me greatly. But my love, which I'll come back to from the start of the podcast, was Mia actually put me onto this. She was telling me about this liquid IV, which is good for a hangover. So now I'm 40. I mean, not that like hangovers didn't used to get me, but obviously like turned 40 and my body was like, we're not doing this anymore. We're not drinking a lot, and that's fine. I'm here for that. But then my girlfriend had a 40th. It was a disco theme, so there was lots of sequins. It was like highlight of my day. It was 40 degrees and it was outside. Luckily it was a nighttime one, so that was okay. And so I had my liquid IV like before we left. And so then we went home. I know, like that's what I gave her for her birthday too. I was like, mate, just get around this while you're drinking. Let's go. Woke up the next day, other than being tired, felt amazing. I was like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. From someone who has 3-day hangovers, it works well. And you pop in American before you go to bed too. So
okay, so that was my love. That I woke up without a raging hangover. I was just tired. So
Liquid
yay
IV.
for
And
I feel like that's the kind of thing that like you're like, oh, we could do some UGC for that. I'm like, I feel like they're not going to be like, yeah, could you promote drinking a shitload and how good our product is?
In your 40s too.
I'm like, you're probably going to sell out market, like, not going to lie.
Yeah, well, with the name, like, what do you expect? Liquid IV, like, come on.
Right.
I probably shouldn't say this, but when I was a paramedic, we used to, take bags of liquid IV fluid home, and when we had a really bad hangover, you just hook yourself.
Yeah, we were already talking about that at this party because some of my friends are nurses, and they're like, "Do you remember like when we were back at uni and like we just used to like come around to our house after like a big bender?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Hook me up.
It's okay, guys. Don't do it now, guys. Anyway, we will see you next week. Have a fabulous week and do some trial reels. Oh, before you do, you do need to do.
Yeah, so if you need some help with your content and, you want to get a bunch of really good hooks, a bunch of really good captions for your trial reels, send us a DM, Val, and we'll send you our custom GPT that is going to help you with all your hooks. It's going to help you with a heap of stuff, basically planning out your whole entire content schedule. But for trial reels, if you can just punch out a heap of hooks, copy, paste. So we've got some GPTs to help you with that. Just shoot us a DM on our Instagram and we'll send it to you.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
Woo.
Oi. Shit podcast. There's so many good ones too.